Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Might seem a little conventional as if you go through our catalog so far, it's been a lot of sports talk. It will continue to be that way. This might be a one-off thing. This might continue on, but we're here to talk about the Universal Parks. Very hot topic right now due to Epic Universe being on the way, the third Florida park. Can't wait for that to happen. I'm hoping to go as soon as it opens. But here's a timeline of the existing parks already and what is going on with these parks so far. And I really want to dial in here on how Islands of Adventure has continued to have success with their rides. It seems like they're making hit after hit after hit, especially with these past two being probably the best two rides in the entire park, while Universal Studios hasn't had that luck or that creativity, whoever you want to blame it on. The land, maybe the ride system's not being up to par. But here we're here to talk about Jimmy Fallon and why I personally think it's one of the more underrated rides of the entire park. As um, you will never see this ride with too much of a wait time. You will see usually that was researching it online. It's usually a wait time of 25, but I feel like it's always lower than that. Like every time you check, it would be a 15, 10 minute. It's a nice, easy ride. It won't take too much of your day to go to. You're able to go to that ride and enjoy it. And I'm here to break down why I feel that way with this ride. And here we have the entrance. I personally like this entrance a lot. It feels like you're going into something that feels professional. You feel excitement going to. I feel like this is a very nice black design. The best part, the AC. Going through this hot Florida weather and going into this building is like a blessing. This building is so cool compared to the rest of the park, where you could honestly stay in this building just to cool off and just have a quick 15-minute period just to enjoy the AC. And then here, who doesn't love going through the history of our own world? And I feel like this is a very big part is television and broadcasting. Sure, this is only a part of it, but I feel like just being able to look through this stuff, I think it's one of the more interesting cues in the entire park. Yeah, it might the IP maybe doesn't interest you that much. I can understand that. Maybe you're looking to see giant gorillas or Harry Potter or things like that, things that you wouldn't see in your daily life. But I feel like this is such a sleek and nice design where if you just enjoy going through the course of history, you will very definitely enjoy going through this queue. You get to see maybe if you're one of those older people that are going, maybe nostalgia factor, seeing these people that you grew up with on these walls past their time of doing the Tonight Show, and it brings you a big part of nostalgia, being able to see this, and me as a kid, being able to see what this show brings and what this show's meant to people throughout the years, seeing maybe your favorite comedic artists here on these shows, like Jimmy Fallon and more, and seeing those type of people really see the ride like this. I mean, here's a great shot of the people that maybe you grew up with, maybe you're growing up with now, but you'll never really see this building that packed. They'll rarely, like most of the time, you can just blow by like this thing. I mean, by the queue if you really want to, just to go and experience the ride. And I feel like this is one of the more unique parts of the ride. When you come into these rooms, I'm not. You have here the live performance most of the time. If it's a really busy day, if it's not a busy day, you can just get in, get on the ride, and you can go on with your day. But if it is a busy day, what they offer is a live performance. You're rarely gonna get that from any other type of queue. You'll see here later that the ride also comes with couches on this massive table screen that you can play games on. It's one of the more unique queues that I've seen, and I feel like more rides should be trying to accomplish that because I feel like that's the only problem with these rides is the wait times and the wait systems. People really aren't happy to hop in an hour time wait, but if you make this as enjoyable as it can, people will continue to come back and come back. That's why I feel like this part of the ride being so unique to it, having these live performers coming out. Granted, you probably won't be able to get it too often as I don't think that they could do it if the wait time is very low because they're just not gonna. There's nobody there for them to be performing for. Like here, we have an entire full room. You will rarely see the room like this. All the times I've rode it, it's basically been a walk on. But even here, you have mascots coming out, live performances, anything to keep you entertained throughout this ride. And considering this ride is also not an outdoor wait, you are very comfortable at this point. At this point, you've gone through probably most of the building. You've been in AC for under 5 minutes if you were walking slow and there was no wait time. But you continue on through. You're at cool, calm. You're cool. Having things like Panda here, like as I said before, you probably won't get lucky enough to have these characters show up as you need the wait time to be big, but that's also a double edged sword. The wait time's big, you won't see these characters. It's pick your poison or pick whatever you would prefer to do. As when it comes to the ride, you also have shows that play throughout this ride, really able to keep you entertained. As I feel like their catalog is so much more bigger than the rest, where it's gonna be so much more different than maybe a Simpsons or like if you've gone on the Incredible Hulk, how the same video replay probably like 20 times while you're waiting in queue. This won't have that. We'll have that variety of new things for you to watch. I feel like the way they do the safety rules is a great way too. I feel like it really continues to be a way to push past the norm of what these rides are and what they've become, and be able to have fun with it and be able to try to make something better than what they thought it could. As I said before, this IP probably not your favorite. You probably didn't come to the park going, "Oh well, man, I really can't wait to ride Jimmy Fallon." Like this is gonna be an out of world type of experience. I mean, technically it is, but if you consider what happens in the ride, but this is just something where you're in the amusement park. I feel like it's time to just enjoy yourself. Like this segment too, you might see it as a little corny. Maybe you don't like it, but it's time for you to just relax. You're not gonna be trying to make something great happen here. It's time to just enjoy yourself, relax, laugh at the jokes, even if you don't think they're funny. Just be able to have a good time with what's happening within the show. I feel like they gives a great way to give broadcast towards what's gonna happen during the ride. Get a little sneak peek of what the ride seats are gonna look like and all that stuff, and you're gonna see these characters end up returning on the ride, which I think is a great idea. Be able to have feel all this connected real time, so that you really feel that you are there with them. All right, now going on to the ride here, I feel like the ride system could is definitely not one of the Universal's best, nowhere close. But for the show building, I feel like it's actually a good ride system. I'm more of a thrill type of person, and this ride system still gives me a little bit of sense of that thrill, as I feel like it's a lot better than maybe the Despicable Me ride system movie, where you don't really feel like you're moving too much. When you do, it's like pretty clear that your seat's like rocking back and forth. You don't really feel a part of the actual ride. Whereas this ride system, I feel like it's a lot better in the way of you actually feeling it. It feels a lot more natural, and you wouldn't expect that looking at the ride system. Now going through this ride, I think they have great use of 3D effects throughout. I think all the 3D effects, like maybe there's a couple that are pushed in there, but you get to go through the point of the ride is being able to race through New York, and you're seeing these New York lights, you're seeing these what you expect New York to be. As here, you have the the downtown area, all these screens, the traffic. You're seeing all this stuff, and it is a race after all. So you had a little sense of when you pass them up, you're trying to go in. Maybe you don't feel it as much, but I feel like they do a great job at that the during the videos leading up to it. You see these band members making their appearance again. See a train, like you feel like you're about to get hit. It feels like the train keeps and keeps like coming at you. Whereas I feel like they really well use these 3D effects. You have some New York slang it thrown in there to really make you feel like you're there. As I said before, they're returning characters, like the comedic joke having where she ended up getting her way, even after he said he wouldn't. And then being able to take this to the air, really enhancing the ride element to feel more than just going through traffic in New York. Has like again going through. Maybe you try to reach out and grab one of these things. I know I've done it at least once, where did you see a thing flying at you? You're trying to grab it or block it. It feels great. I feel like this room. Think they also do good with the effects. You feel breeze when you're flying. You feel a little water hit you as you're going up. A great jump scare that ended up actually got me. So you're going through. You're seeing these iconic parts of New York. Being able to fly up this high. Like I said, they do a great job with the actual ride system where you actually feel like you're up here. It gets a little cold. You see references to other rides in the park, like King Kong, being able to see those old movies, getting references back to those old another parts of the ride, giving a synergy between the other parks. And then what other ride do you get to leave the planet on? These closing thoughts while the rest of the ride finishes out. It's not a great ride. It's not going to be on top 10 people's list, but I feel so many people have said it should already get it replaced. You're not going to do much in that show building on the way it's already been built. Whereas I feel like you already have a good ride in this place. It gives you synergy with Comcast. I feel like the IP is not as terrible as people think. I feel like people just see that and just think, oh, this is just a cheapskate ride, which maybe you can see it as it is due to some of the other rides coming out. There's a whole new park coming, but I feel like you should give this ride a chance. It won't take up too much of your day. You'll probably end up enjoying it. I mean, how I felt about it is first time I went, I don't think I read until like very time the park was about to close because you had already written everything. Like, why not? And I ended up actually very enjoying it. It's not gonna be one of the rides where you go around speechless. But that's not the point of this ride. The point of the ride is to give you a nice ride, probably minimal wait time. You got to have things that are not so great so that the greatness is very great. Appreciate you guys for watching. Tune in next time to our one of our next videos.